Today we're going to be looking at all of Macna's kit. So let's get straight on with the video. So guys, we're on our way to Ryka, Box Hill, nice little stopping point for us motorcyclists. Definitely adamant amount of time for us to get used to and get to grips with all the Macna stuff. Pardon the pun, thought that was proper funny. But I've got the centre jacket on with the Macna Unite gloves. Lewis, what do you have on? So I've got the Ascent jacket on, which is more of a padded gilet type material. It's not a gilet, it's a full jacket, but it's padded. And the gloves remind me what they're called. Foton. That's what they're called. Yeah. So I've been using the Fotons for the past 3-4 days or so, just to get used to them a little bit more. Yeah. The jacket is his first time trying today, just like you as well. So yeah, first time for the jacket and the gloves. Tom's been using the Foton for much longer than both of us, actually.
Yeah, and I've had an off with them, so.
She was wearing them on your accident, was she? Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, by the way, not even a scratch on them.
I'm glad they held up.
They held up really well.
Until we get to Ryka's and see how they fare. And then we're going to have a sit down, have a coffee, get one of their world-class baguettes. I'm a fan of my English, like breakfast baguettes. So, one more thing. Yeah? Your jacket is plugged in, my jacket is plugged in, which you can see there. So we're running straight off the bike battery. So we've only got batteries for the gloves, so the jackets are wired straight to the bikes.
Well, you can wire the gloves through the jacket itself.
Yes, and that.
Yeah. And then bear in mind, what is it? It's -1 at the moment, and we're all just chilling.
Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I've got no trouble whatsoever.
Yeah.
Right, so it is a proper chilly day today. We've got our coffees, we just munched our baps with absolute speed while they're still warm, because if you left it for any longer, they'll be freezing like us. I think the best place to start off is by talking about the gloves, don't you think?
Yeah. I mean, we've used them a little bit more than the jackets.
Yeah.
More me than you, just because I've used them 4 days before, I said. So I'm getting on really well with them. So these are the Fotons that I've used. You're using the Unites. So the Fotons have a little bit more function and features to them, as you can tell probably by the aesthetics of the gloves. One noticeable feature you get straight off the bat is that screen cleaner, that lens cleaner. You don't get that on the slightly base model version.
Yeah, no.
Obviously I haven't had the chance to use it today, but it was foggy the other day. I'm sure I was out with one of the guys and it was foggy outside. I thought the inside of my visor was fogging up, but it was actually the outside, so that came in handy. But in terms of actual heating functionality themselves, both have the same features. They have 4 heating levels, and depending on the batteries that you use for the gloves, you get different heating levels. So you get a 7.4 battery that you can get with the gloves, or you can get the 12-volt battery, which is the higher power one. So depending on the level that you put your glove on, obviously the higher power battery is going to give you a hotter heat level.
Yeah.
So we've got the 7.4-volt batteries.
Yeah, the 2200 milliamp batteries.
22 milliamp batteries, and that, I mean, to be fair, on the way here, I mean, is it -1 today?
Yeah, it's proper cold.
I was on the second highest heating level. I thought I was on the highest, but I was on the second highest, and that's all I needed.
Yeah, for me, I was on the red. I definitely needed that. I think what's nice about the gloves is, like, compared to other heated gloves, is you don't really feel the heat so much, but you know your hands are warm because nothing's changed, if that makes sense. Like, the outside temperature of it is freezing. We found that out as soon as we got off the bikes and turned the bikes off. It was freezing.
Why I'm still wearing the gloves.
Hence why we put the gloves back on, and we're keeping it on for the duration of this video. So Tom's been using the camera. He's also got some Macna gloves as well. He's just been filming with them on. See? Multi-purpose. Oh my God. They're both are fully waterproof as well, as you would expect, because otherwise it would be kind of pointless. If you're someone that goes out commuting a lot, then you can choose either one of these gloves. They do come at 2 different price points. I think mine's just shy of 100, is it not? And yours is a bit more.
These are a little bit more. I can get the exact price for you, but another good feature about these gloves is both construction of them. They're really good for windproofing. So on the Tiger, I've got hand guards, so I get a lot of the deflection obviously through those hand guards, but straight off the bat, the way they're constructed, I would say they're pretty windproof. They do very good job.
Yeah, they do a really good job. You kind of got everything that you need with this. So we have a different wrist closure systems. You've got 2 on yours.
I got 2, one for the longer cuff.
Yeah.
Mind you, they're probably the same size cuffs, but yeah, the Fotons do have one at the cuff and one at the wrist.
Yeah, and mine just kind of goes across the entirety of the glove, which is quite nice. It's on an offset, so when you actually pinch it, it pinches it properly rather than just...
It pinches more material.
Yeah, exactly. Instead of just going around your wrist. They have a skateboard protector. You have one as well. Yours is rubberized. Mine is a harder plastic.
Yeah.
But
they are reinforced like a suede nubuck on the palm as well, which probably gives you a bit more extra grip. I mean, most of the time I'm riding with my thumb, I suppose, and my two fingers over the brake, so yeah. You get a lot of grip with them. So the Fotons are $249.99.
Yeah. So they're a little bit higher on the spectrum, but they do get quite a few more features out of it. I'm completely fine with the Unites, honestly. I don't need it to be overly, over the top. The heating element is all I really care for. And it's quite a sleek design, in fairness. The grip is quite big, but the only thing that I have, which is a little nitpick, is the touch tips. It says it's got touch sensitivity there.
Same on these ones as well.
Could not really use it on the phone, but bear in mind, I was possibly riding along trying to access the heat levels on the jacket.
Stationary,
it'll be fine.
Stationary, you're fine. It's when you are on the road and if you've got your phone mounted like we have, because you're going over the bumps and because they're quite thick gloves, trying to navigate the heat level on the app, it's not happening. Yeah, it's not happening. You're not going to do it very efficiently. So that would be the only downfall. I mean, it's a thick glove. It's a thick winter glove, so you're going to lose dexterity. You're going to lose feeling anyway. It's just what it is when you ride in this sort of weather and this time of year. But that doesn't necessarily make them feel bulky. I still find to have a little...
Honestly, it's absolutely fine, because you know what you're getting into once you get yourself a pair of winter gloves. Like, there's other gloves out there that might have a different insulation layer or whatever else, but then that means your hands would have to stay warm. But with this, it just keeps your hands warm. So that's the key thing that you want from these sets of gloves anyway. For the Macna ones, you wanted heated gloves. They're going to be a little bit bulkier. You're going to deal with it. You'd much rather that than having freezing cold fingers where you can't actually feel the controls at all.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
But yeah.
I suppose moving on to the actual interesting fact about these, so the battery life. So we've been riding for an hour?
Yeah.
An hour and 10 minutes. I had it on red, the hottest setting. I've reduced by 1 bar. So there's an actual battery indicator on the front there, which is 3 levels. I've gone down one level, so an hour.
That's pretty good going.
Pretty good on the hottest level.
Yeah, bear in mind on their website as well, they said it at full red heat, it'll be an hour and 45 minutes, so it's doing pretty well. If it's been an hour already and you've only gone down 1 bar, you'd expect that to be a bit further on than that.
So on the 7.4 battery, the lower output battery, I think on the higher setting you get a longer battery life because it's not outputting so much heat. Whereas the 12 volt battery on the higher setting, you get slightly less use out of them, but I don't think the comparison is by that much.
Yeah.
So it just depends. It's a use case scenario. If you want, hotter levels, if you're riding in, I suppose, different countries that are going to be a lot less than -1, you'd probably want the bigger output. For
100%.
But the 7.4 batteries we've done with
perfectly fine in the UK. Also, if they were off completely, they're still warm winter gloves, so you don't have to worry about that either. So moving on, let's move on to the jacket. Yeah?
Let's go.
Right, so moving on to the said jackets. These are kind of like the pièce de résistance from Macna. They're kind of called pièce de résistance.
Nice.
Is that all right? Yeah.
Pièce de résistance.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, my bad. Jesus. Right. Anyway, so you've got which jacket do you have?
This is the Ascent jacket.
Okay.
And we were wearing the centre jacket.
Yeah.
So the big major difference between these is obviously the aesthetic, the look.
Yep.
And it doesn't really reflect much in the price. So this Ascent jacket is $209.99. The centre jacket is $199.99. So really the only thing that you're getting differently is the look. So this is more of a complete destination layer, I would say. It's more of a gilet style jacket, puffer jacket that you could use on a hike. You could use it cycling if you wanted to. You can use it for a different amount of sports, but usually it's quite a nice destination layer. Yeah,
this one is more of a base layer, as they say.
Yeah.
So this will fit under your garments a little bit easier. Per se, that'll pack down really easily underneath the jacket. You just slide in easier in the jackets when you're wearing this. Like at the moment, I'm wearing a mesh sort of jacket over the top with this on, and I feel perfectly fine. It doesn't feel cumbersome, weighty, or anything whatsoever. Again, we've got the same sort of cycles. These are Bluetooth, so they do get controlled through the app. We have been plugging it into the bike, but you can operate it with the higher power batteries as well. So.
Yeah, so as Tom said, we wired it through the bike, so all that power is coming directly from the bike battery. Once you've powered it to the bike, you can connect it to the app, like Tom said. So connecting to the app was really easy. So download the Macna app, plug the jacket into the bike, and all you do is wait for it to pop up on the app, select it, and then you just need to make sure that you're selecting the right type of product on the app. So when you plug mine in, it just said it found the device, and I just selected it, make sure it was the jacket that I was selecting. And once it does that, and once it knows it's connected, you can then change the heat level directly from the app, which is really handy.
For reference, we're both wearing a medium. They do have a little bit of stretch in them, which is quite nice. So that's always better as well, because they'll hug our core a lot nicer. If you move into the inside of this jacket, actually, we have the reflective material, as you can see there. That shiny stuff to reflect the heat back at you, and it's kind of hugging around the kidney stomach area, so that's going to keep them nice and toasty. We have 4 heat levels on this. I had it on the highest one, as obviously I'm wearing a mesh jacket over the top. It was kind of counterintuitive, but I was still very, very warm. But yeah, so they have reflective material on it as well, but you don't really get to see that unless you're just rocking this. But this is not a CE rated garment, it's just a heated jacket.
So the heating elements throughout the jacket, I believe, are on the front. You get some specifically where you want them around the kidneys. That's going to warm you up the quickest. When I was riding, I felt a lot on my chest, which is actually quite nice, because obviously that's where you get most of the wind hitting you. So just on the inside as well, the connection points on both jackets around at the back on the right-hand side, which was a bit funny when I first thought of it, because I think I'm used to the Keese where it was on the left-hand side, so I always had the wire, the bike battery wire, hang out the left,
out the front,
so I could plug it in straight away and then get on the bike. Whereas this, I had to wire the battery cable on the right-hand side of the bike, get on the bike first, find the cable, and then connect it. It was a bit of a faff, but I suppose once you get used to it, it's not going to become a problem.
It's not going to be an issue. You're also using the extension cord.
I'm using the extension, the springy cable. This is quite a nice feature actually, because you can tuck the extension in that pocket. That's where the batteries go, by the way, also. And then really all you need to do is buy that extension and then have that hang out the bottom of the jacket, and then you've got that extra pull just in case you need it. So I found that when we pulled away earlier, straight away I stood up in my Tiger and it unplugged straight away. So I just need to make sure that that's got enough slack on it.
It was remembering that as well. I got off the bike a second ago, completely forgot about it, and kind of like reverse roundhouse kicked the bike and yanked the cable out.
But it's a good testament to say that if you are plugged in, you get off the bike, it's just going to unplug. You're not going to pull anything out or damage the bike, so they do just unplug if you do forget that they're there.
How to connect it up, we wired it to the bike via the battery ports, so the battery terminals even. So we had that done. I don't know if they have another sort of system where you can do it into the fuse or you can wire it into the ignition. Either way, what we used was the one that just connects to the terminals on the batteries.
Power, I'd say for heated gear is probably the best. I mean, unless you're going to be sitting on the bike and you turn off the ignition and you need it to turn off with the ignition. I don't think you'd ever need that scenario with heated gear, but yeah, they're wired off straight off the battery. So if you do wire it off straight off the battery like we've done as well, on the arms they do have the extra cables that come out on both sides to power the gloves also. So if you haven't got the batteries for the gloves, they plug straight into the gloves as they are. So you don't have to buy the batteries for these, which is why you can buy the gloves without the batteries, without the kit, or you can buy it with the kit.
That is something worth mentioning as well. So back just briefly onto the gloves. The Unite, they don't come with batteries, you have to buy them separately. They come in a little case. They don't cost much more, but it's just another thing that you would have to purchase alongside the Unites. But that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah. So these are both of the jackets that we like. I quite like my one because it fits under my jacket really nice and easily. I do like the look of yours more. I'd probably wear that out and about
more of a destination
wear.
100%. I mean, you could use both of them, you know, outside, out and about, really. But yeah, this one was more suited for it, I reckon. And if you wanted to, just get a battery and wear this while you're walking. You could do so many things.
Exactly.
You don't have to go motorcycling with it. So
perfect. I'm pointing out you're only wearing a t-shirt underneath, so am I.
I know. It's Baltic today. It's absolutely Baltic.
Not fun.
I'm putting these back on, mate.
Let's wrap this up, and get back to the studio. So if you did enjoy this video, we might have some extra footage as we ride back to the warmth of Camberley Infinity. But with that, make sure you like the video, comment down below what you think of the jackets and the gloves, and be sure to subscribe, ride safe. We'll see you all soon. Let's go.